you and welcome to News Express here on Global Television. I'm Muyi Agbomofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has called for a stronger and better cooperation with the United States as Nigeria and the rest of the world move in the quest for renewable and other sources of clean energy. He spoke during a meeting with United States Assistant Secretary of State, Bureau of Energy Resources, Ambassador Geoffrey Prates at the State House in Abuja. This was disclosed in a statement signed by Dele Alake, the Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communications and Strategy. President Tinubu presented his perspectives to the U.S. delegation on the role of Nigeria as an oil-producing country and the importance of revenue from fossil oil to national economic well-being. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has decorated the acting IGP Egbetokun Olukayode with the rank of Inspector General of Police IGP at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Our correspondent Prince Adigoke has details.
Present at the brief ceremony, which took place at 1 p.m. at the Vice President's Conference Hall, were the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, Deputy Chief of Staff Hassan Ibrahim Adeja, the Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, the new National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, and the immediate past IGP Usman Baba Alkali. After the decoration ceremony, the immediate past IGP Baba Alkali said he was happy to be handing over to somebody that will carry the mantle of leadership from where he stopped.
It's a stage. You come, you walk, and you go. I'm happy I'm handing over to somebody I know that will carry the mantle of leadership from where I have stopped. We grew up in the job, we grew up together. I was his boss at the time, not even when I was IG. He worked under me twice. We've been working together, and I know how he can go ahead to champion the cause of the police from where I have stopped.
The new police chief said he feels like a lion ready to devour Nigeria's internal enemies as he prepares to assume office at 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
Now I have just been decorated and I'm looking forward to taking over tomorrow morning by 11 a.m. I really can't describe how I feel presently, but if I have to tell you anything, I will tell you that right now I feel like a tiger inside of me, ready to chase away all the criminals in Nigeria.
Recall that in 1999, Egbetokun was appointed Chief Security Officer to President Tinubu when he was Lagos State Governor.
In the meantime, the acting Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun has officially assumed office. Egbetokun is taking over the force headquarters as the 22nd IGP. The former IGP Usman Baba officially handed over to Egbetokun at 12 in Abuja. Vice President Kashim Shettima had earlier decorated him at the Presidential Villa on Wednesday. Recall that President Bola Tinubu had earlier sacked Usman Alkali Baba and replaced him with Egbetokun in acting capacity. His appointment as IG was made known in a statement by the Director Information Office of the Secretary General to the Federation, Willie Bassi. The President also approved the immediate retirement of all service chiefs, advisors, and Controller General of Customs from service, as well as their replacements with immediate effect. Details of the handover ceremony will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin here on Global Television. Let's turn to other stories for you now. The Department of State Services has told the Federal Capital Territory High Court on Tuesday that suspended Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele will flee the country if granted bail. The Attorney General of the Federation also supported the argument of the DSS, describing Emefiele as a flight risk. The former head of the Apex Bank is challenging his detention by the DSS and deny him seeing his family members and lawyers. Emefiele had been suspended by President Bola Tinubu and subsequently detained by the DSS on Saturday, June 10, 2023. At the resumption of hearing on Tuesday, both the DSS and Office of the Attorney General of the Federation stated this in separate counter-affidavits filed in fundamental rights enforcement suit by the suspended CBN chief. And the housing allowances for members of the National Assembly may cost the country about 5.87 billion naira annually. With the annual allocation of 5.8 billion naira, In 4 years, the federal government will spend 23.48 billion naira on the lawmakers' accommodation. The allowances are based on data on the website of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Commission. It covers allowances for accommodation, domestic staff, utilities, house maintenance, wardrobe, and furniture. From the total amount, the housing allowances of the senators will cost about 1.38 billion naira yearly. As we turn to Nigeria's southwest now, the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf on Wednesday approved the restatement of Muyi Rimin-Gado as chairman of the Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. His reinstatement, according to the governor, would ensure the embattled Anti-Corruption Agency boss completes his tenure. The administration of the immediate past governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, had in January 2023 approved the sacking of Rimin-Gado. Rimin-Gado, however, faulted his sacking, saying he was not given a fair hearing. The dismissal came about 2 years after the State House of Assembly had recommended his dismissal. He was suspended for a month in July 2021 over his alleged opposition to the posting of an accountant to the agency from the Office of the Accountant General of the state. Lawyer to leader. In a different development, lawyer to leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, has told an Abuja Federal High Court that his client, Kanu, requires urgent ear surgery amidst his reported failing health. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozehome, made this known at the court during the hearing of the case in which Kanu is seeking an order granting him unhindered access to his personal doctor. Changanamel Joseph now reports.
The senior lawyer stated that the DSS has repeatedly refused to grant Nnamdi Kanu access to his personal doctor and have also refused to release medical records of the pro-Biafra agitator, even after their medical team confirmed the need for his medical attention. Ozehome stressed that the action of the DSS indicates that the service is not willing to allow his client access to proper medical attention, which is a breach of Section 7 of the Anti-Torture Act. In his reply, DSS lawyer informed the court that Kanu is being given proper feeding and medical attention while in DSS custody and therefore ought the court to dismiss Kanu's case.
So, he's there being tortured, dying by his torments, apart from the ear surgery we are now requesting for. Dying, mentally tortured, physically tortured, spiritually tortured, psychologically tortured, psychically tortured, his humanity being degraded on a daily basis by a federal government that ought to protect its citizens. What has Nnamdi Kanu done wrong? Nothing.
The trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, after listening to the submission, adjourned the suit to July 20th for judgment. Changanamel Joseph, Global TV News.
This is Global TV, and you're watching News Express coming to you live on StarTimes Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Do well to follow us across our social media platforms at Global TV NG. When News Express returns, Blinken meets Ukraine PM at UK conference. These and more stories coming shortly, right after this break. Please don't go away.
Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria is a 21st century institution with a secure and serene environment for learning. The institution has designed a superb curriculum for educating tomorrow's leaders with a unique system that has brought modernity and innovation into tertiary education. From its IT-driven system designed for seamless academic activity to high-end equipment and infrastructure, as well as highly motivated staff from across the globe, Bayes University is running with its mission to be the best. The institution also has a fully equipped state-of-the-art hospital with a signature of excellence. Bayes University Hospital is ready to cater to the healthcare needs of the continent. The success from Bayes University now has an offshoot in the establishment of the Baba Ahmed University in Kano, Nigeria. Bayes University offers an exciting learning experience for all students and gives value for money. Bayes University. Learn to live.
Thank you so very much for staying with us. The International Labour Organization, ILO, is taking action to guarantee that domestic workers have access to good quality jobs, as global demand for this category of workers is expected to rise. In light of this, it has introduced a comprehensive strategy consisting of 5 steps to improve the working conditions and rights of domestic workers globally. Domestic workers, who often face some of the worst working conditions, play a vital role in society by providing essential care services to private households. However, the ILO stressed that their contributions have been undervalued. And U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has met with Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal on the sidelines of the Ukraine Recovery Conference in London on Wednesday, where he noted that Ukraine's economic recovery was critical for its survival. Blinken said that the U.S. would give more than $1.3 billion in new aid, including more than $500 million to restore and improve Ukraine's battered energy grid, a message to Russia that Ukraine's allies are in it for the long haul.
Meeting in London, it's hard to overstate its importance, because even as Ukrainians, as we speak, are fighting so bravely to take back the land that's been seized from them, we know we also have to focus on the flip side of the coin, which is Ukraine's not only economic recovery, but economic future, because its success will be determined both on the battlefield with its ability to defend and ultimately deter further Russian aggression, but also the success of the country, the society it's building.
Prime Minister Shmyhal said the U.S.'s support gave Ukraine what he called hope and courage.
Support from side of United States, and we have this, and it's very important for us that United States will support Ukraine as long as it needed. So it gave us hope, it bring us encourage to win in this war and to continue together restoring and recovery of my country.
Together, Ukraine's allies have pledged several $billion in non-military aid to rebuild the country's war-ravaged infrastructure, curb corruption, and help pave its road to eventual membership in the European Union. And back home, Nigeria's National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has welcomed 102 distressed Nigerians, mostly young women, from Tripoli, Libya. They were brought back to the country on a chartered flight via Al Barak Air Boeing 737-800 with registration number 58DMG. The agency confirmed their arrival in a statement on its website on Wednesday. According to the statement, the NEMA Director General received the returnees on arrival at the cargo wing of Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja. British intelligence services says Russia has further expanded its defense installations in the occupied territories in Ukraine. The Ministry of Defense in London announced on Wednesday that significant efforts have been made, especially in the vicinity of the Crimea Peninsula, which Russia annexed in 2014 in violation of international law. According to London, the sophisticated defense positions underline Russia's assessment that Ukrainian forces are capable of attacking Crimea directly. Fierce fighting continued on several front lines sections in southern Ukraine, it added. Let's talk a bit of sports now. Man City have reached agreement with Chelsea for Kovacic. Our sports correspondent Fidelis Egomena brings us more.
With English Premier League club Chelsea pruning and downsizing their outsized squad, Mateo Kovacic is at the verge of joining Premier League champions Manchester City with an agreement reached already with Chelsea to sign the midfielder for £30 million. The Croatian midfielder may be joining City sooner than anticipated for an initial fee of £25 million and a further £5 million in potential add-ons. The 95 caps Croatian midfielder joined Chelsea on loan from Real Madrid in 2019 before making the switch permanent on a 5-year deal. Meanwhile, fellow teammates Edouard Mendy and Hakim Ziyech are on their way out, with N'Golo Kante already completing his switch to Al Ittihad in the Saudi Pro League. With Shell Basketball Federation will flag off their national competition in Abeokuta, Ogun State, the president of the federation, Cheyi Johnson, has said. The event, which the president promises to be massive, will double as a yardstick for selection of players that will represent Nigeria at this year's African Paralympic Games in Ghana. Further, Mr. Johnson says the competition is an avenue for the federation to gather elite wheelchair basketball players scattered all over the nation. The competition is bid to begin tomorrow, Thursday, 22nd June through 25th June at the Abeokuta Sports Stadium in Ogun State. In the world of sports, Fidelis Inyegumena reporting for Global Television News.
Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Don't forget, we're on Star Times channel 276, and you can follow us across our social media platforms at Global TVNG. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Wiyago Mofwegwe. Enjoy the rest of your evening.